Bro, now we is live. Welcome to the official review podcast. Not only streaming on YouTube, but we is now live on Twitch, boy. So,
Yes, sir.
gang,
Big vibes.
and you can join the Discord. All the information is in the links. Check us out. Check us on everything now, cause bro, it ain't nowhere else we can go. But up, that's all we can do.
That's a fact.
Brother,
I'm trying to be on title one day. You feel me?
bro, we're one step away, man. We're one step away, and like it really takes a lot to really drive up the community. So make sure you like and subscribe. Hit us up on Instagram, Twitter. I'm not on social media as much, but Dan don't answer, so that's all good. But
I'm on there for the memes.
yeah, I tap in every now and then if y'all really hit me up enough. But that is what it is. We working men. It is what it is, man. Like can't do nothing about it. But yo, we had the craziest week. I want to say like last week was probably the craziest week in like NFL playoffs I've ever seen.
I ain't gonna lie. I was like, field goal to decide it after field goal to decide it after field goal to decide it. Like that's what it felt like.
It came after a week, like the week before, of just straight blowouts, and thinking like the NFL playoffs is going to be a rout to whoever's the greatest team, and we just completely got the opposite of it the next week after.
Yeah. I don't know. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was. I think the greatest highlight of it. First off, I'm conflicted because I personally, just because who the Bills are in our division, I did not want to see the Bills succeed.
Right.
But at the same time, I am tired of seeing Pat Mahomes' face, and I would not have minded to not see his face any longer.
Yeah.
So I was.
I feel you
on that game.
I appreciate Pat Mahomes' greatness. Obviously, it's like the angles he's able to throw it and stuff. It's not even that, bro. I don't know what it is about him. He's a winner too. Like it's the mentality, right? Like I remember them talking about it. Like if there's anyone with like the time winding down, like you want a Brady or Mahomes. Like it's those two.
That's true.
And he proved it. 14 seconds left.
And that's true. And it doesn't even matter. Like for him, I feel like he's almost at the point in his career and where he's at physically that I don't think there's much that can stop him besides just his weapons not being there. And he has a plethora of weapons. Like he literally won that game almost without ever throwing the ball to why am I forgetting his tight end's name? Kelsey.
Oh, Travis Kelsey. Yeah.
Like that game was hands down one of the most like tactical quarterback playing games I've ever seen in a very, very, very long time. And it was great to see because we got so many young quarterbacks coming up right now that like the league is literally saturated with just quarterbacks right at this point.
Yeah.
Heavily saturated with quarterbacks.
Yeah, I feel like if you're the Bills, if you're the Bucks, if you're Green Bay, like you can't go home and be mad at yourself. Like I feel like all three of those games, you kind of like gave it your all in a sense. You know what I mean? Like
exactly.
Like there was nothing you could do, bro. Like it's out of your hands.
Well, I will say the Bills could have played a little bit tighter defense.
I mean, yeah, but like, bro, when you putting up 30-some points, the other team putting up 30-some points, it's like back and forth. Yeah. At that point, I feel like it's a gunslinging match. Like at that point,
you're not wrong, and
the Chiefs just happen to get the ball first. It happens.
So we're gonna have to talk about that too. Do you think the league at some point should adopt the rule of the other team at least getting one chance to score?
No, I don't think so.
No?
I think it's just. I think I kind of watched that on First Take, but I don't think so. I believe like this is how it's been, right? And I feel like that's what makes it exciting. Like it's like. Because it's not like they don't have a chance. It's not like nobody's guarding them and they're just going to the end zone. Like the defense is out there. So it's like it's a matchup. Like let's see what happens. I think that's what makes it intriguing to me. Like defense has to step up at the end of the day.
And we have seen many teams not score in that first possession and lose.
Yeah, I think they brought out the statistic. I think Sean O'Hara or something was on First Take. He said like 20% of teams who get the ball first end up scoring and ending the game. Like, so that's such a small number for us to change it.
Very true. I think as a fan, people are starting to say that they want to see that just because they want to see games go a little bit longer. If that makes sense.
I don't think that's necessary, though.
Very true. But I do feel like we've hit a trend of going the opposite. Before, games were too long. Now people want to see games extended. You know what I mean? Like, more fans wanted to see like that game end, not just with.
Yeah, I don't think like that's the way to decide it. I don't think that's the way. I think that's like teams prepare for this all year round, like these type of situations, like defensively and offensively.
Exactly.
So I feel like it's up to the defense at the end of the day. Like the Bills defense they were in a position to, and they didn't stop them.
I mean, they most likely should have stopped it back.
They got the number one defense. Like it's
they do.
You know what I mean?
And this goes back to my point where in the fourth quarter, when they only got 18 seconds. You literally need one stop, literally one batted down pass, one tackle for at least an extra 2 seconds.
And that's my point as well, though. Like everyone wants to talk about overtime, but it's those other 4 quarters that people aren't talking about. Like
exactly.
Like there's situations for them to win the game, I'm sure, in those other 4 quarters. So can't break it down to overtime. Like, oh, we didn't get a chance in overtime. You had a whole 4 quarters to win the ball game. So
exactly, and I think it brings you to the point, and people gonna hate me for this because I always, you know me, I gravitate towards Tom Brady being the best quarterback ever, and I will always gravitate toward that. That's just how I am. I can't stop myself from that. But I do feel like Aaron Rodgers losing the game last week was a big. I don't want to say a stain to his career because it's not, but he has had histories of losing those big moments in the playoffs, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I see both sides, right? Like I see who did he really have offensively? Like, yeah, you got Devontae Adams, and it's a great offensive unit, and he's been working with it. But at the same point, I see where he's coming from. Like, you see teams like the Rams, the Chiefs, and the Tampa Bay Bucks, and you almost like
kind of take it for granted a little bit.
Yeah, like you kind of forget, like, dang, compared to those teams, like Green Bay's offense really isn't like, and they're like performing like they are. So it's like,
I think it also comes down to.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Like people don't really know too much about Green Bay's players like that because their pieces aren't terrible. They're just
for sure
big name pieces.
Yeah, man. But when you have Antonio Brown and he's expendable to you, I think that's just shows like.
Well, I don't think he was expendable to Tampa
No,
Bay.
obviously not. I think it was. And that's something we can get into. I think they missed him a whole lot in that game.
For sure.
But I think, you know what I mean. Like it just goes to show, like he wasn't their first option, second option, or even third option. I think he was like their fourth on the Bucks offense. So it's like, if that, you know what I mean.
If he was like. I mean, after Cameron Brate, who was coming off, the sideline for Gronk, I would say he's behind him, to be honest.
Yeah, so he's like fifth.
Yeah, so he was pretty far back.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, but I think it's something that's going to stain him, but I think it makes his decision a lot easier. Like, I think he's definitely leaving. I'm just interested to see where he goes. I was kind of like watching something about that as well, and it's kind of like, in terms of his offseason, like there's teams with not a lot of cap, like the Giants are one of them.
Yeah.
And of those teams that are available, not a lot of teams have like
good pieces.
Yeah, pieces or weapons that he is looking for. So it's like interesting to see.
Yeah.
Where are you gonna go then? Like
exactly. He doesn't really. Like I said before, it was
New England.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like I don't think that's gonna work out with him and Bill.
I don't know if that's gonna work, especially since we don't have offensive weapons at all. We literally.
I think the only time that we're talking about was the 49ers, and they're still in it. So.
And they also still are debating on keeping Garoppolo. They're still trying to figure that out. So that's a hard sell.
Yeah.
A team like Miami, they already got rid of their coach, so they're going full rebuild at this point. There's no way he's going to a team like that.
Apparently, we're looking for our coach now too. So I just saw that we hired Sean. I think that's how you say his name, from the Buffalo Bills. He's associate GM, and now we're looking for our head coach. Everyone wants the ball, I believe, from the Buffalo Bills offensive coordinator.
See, I was thinking they were going to try and go. Well, I know they're trying to take a break, but Sean Payton, just being the fact that he just got.
I mean, he just retired, so
exactly. So that was
I don't know.
Well, no, he didn't retire. He actually just said he wants it. He's stepping down from the Saints job. So that's the thing.
It's interesting to see. I hope the Giants figure it out. I think when the Giants are doing well, especially in the NFC East, I think it's just good for the league as well. So they're like one of those teams
for that division too. That division needs, like, if it's not you guys kind of stepping up,
it's Cowboys, but
exactly.
But I feel like we need that competition inside our division. I think that's what we're kind of lacking. It's kind of like whoever gets out the gate first is like technically going to win the NFC East for the past couple of seasons. So it's like it tends to be the Cowboys because they have a better start. But who knows, man? Because the Giants and the Washington football team kind of been not that great.
We cannot talk about them. And sadly, that's going to be the case for years to come with that team. Because, I mean, who knows what direction they're going. They don't even know their names yet. So that's another conversation for another day. But it's great to see that that football season did end is ending the way it is. I hope it does continue because I know we have for the next round San Fran, and I think it's
NFC, San Fran and Rams.
And Rams, which the Rams eked out a great game.
Yeah, and then Bengals, Chiefs.
Bengals, Chiefs. That was a game. That's a game matchup that I did not see coming. Can't say I saw the Bengals game.
I feel like I can't doubt the Bengals now though, because they've kind of like beat every matchup that I thought. You know what I mean? Like I knew they were going to win the first round, but I feel like the second round I was like iffy about.
And Joe Burrow is tough, bro. That man is like Joe Burrow has literally transcended what I thought he was going to be as a quarterback in the NFL to the point where it's like, well, and also it helps when you got Jamar Chase. I won't lie. Jamar Chase does help with that.
Yeah, there's some chemistry there for sure too. So,
but Joe Burrow is he's rising his stock significantly in a short period of time.
I think he's what we thought Baker would be. That makes sense.
That's a great compare. Or no, that's 100%.
Yeah, it's like that. It's not skill set wise. I'm not saying, but I'm saying like who they were coming out of college. Like is the confidence. It's kind of like, all right, they both got that put up or shut up type attitude. So it's like, all right, kind of leaders. Like that's what we expect. Like that's what we saw from him at LSU. Exactly. And it's like, I feel like Baker's kind of not living up to the hype, and they surrounded him with weapons. It's like,
and I would also say that I don't know if you remember him that well because I think he's a backup now for Arizona or possibly someone else. But I feel like he's what we thought Josh Rosen would be. Yeah,
for sure.
Like 100%. Like that's what I felt like Josh Rosen's hype was coming into the league, and then all of a sudden it was like drop off the face of the earth. Nobody cares about you. Who are you?
Yeah.
But like literally, Joe Burrow has my respect. Like as I'm not a big, I'm impartial to the Bengals, and who knows what the Bengals end up doing eventually. But that team had a very bad stigma around it prior to the season, where it was
for sure. I mean, the greatest player they had was Chad.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. That says something. Like there's really no past.
Not at all.
That's just one of those. Weren't they a franchise team?
Yeah.
Like add-on for sure.
Yep, they were expansion team. Cincinnati was expansion, and I'm just excited for the fact that they've gotten this far. Now, granted, we'll see what they do next year because they can't sneak up on any teams next year. Next year, people are going to be like, all right, now we know
plan it for them. Yeah, for sure.
Like it's going to be hard for you to get off what you need to get off, and that sounded really bad. Pause.
Nah, I get what you're saying. Like
No.
it's no surprises for sure
Yeah,
next
it's
year.
no surprises, and people are gonna come gunning for you, especially when you're at the basically you're at the top of your conference.
It's the same thing that happened to Lamar. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
We kind of saw that. Like teams are starting to plan around him.
Exactly.
So it's just, not saying Lamar fell off or anything.
Nah, I think it was
But-
more so the injuries to him. Man.
Yeah. But I'm saying like, you know what I mean? Teams start to
Exactly.
like, you're not gonna win the games by the point that you're winning these games now. It's gonna be closer games for sure.
Yeah, a lot
Because
closer.
defensive schemes, they got this whole season. They got tape on you from this whole season now.
Exactly. There was rarely any tape on them last year, so
Yeah.
it's gonna be really good to see. I'm just excited for it because, dude, we're literally in like I feel like we gotta take in these moments now because it's like when you really think about it, we have most of the quarterbacks that we grew up watching on their way out and a new guard coming in.
Yeah,
And
Ben should be done.
Ben's done.
Tom's contemplating. This is like I feel like he's done. He's kind of like
I think he's
Tom don't really play with it like that though. Like Tom don't really talk about retirement like that. So to hear him like kind of speak on it a little bit got me feeling like he's kind of like thinking toward it or leaning towards it a little bit.
Last weekend, I'll be thinking about it too, bro.
Yeah.
When you have Bob Miller, Aaron Donald in your face 24/7, like he had, like
But-
he had time back there to breathe.
That's a good team though. Like if he does leave, you know what I mean? We could see maybe Eric goes there. You know what I mean? You never know.
You're right. And
But
I don't know. It's a tough year.
besides that, I don't really know any other quarterbacks that we grew up on.
That's going up. Well, we did see Drew leave last year.
That's what I'm saying. We seen Drew. We seen Phillip.
There's somebody else.
Eli left a few years back.
Yeah.
There's not too many. Like,
Yeah, there's no Russell Wilson. People are talking about Russell Wilson like.
well, Russ is kind of like, you know what I mean? We were a little bit older. He kind of came in and took the league by
I
storm.
feel like Russell Wilson is at that Aaron Rodgers point where it's like
Yeah, he had his prime.
older, but he's not done.
Yeah, him and A-Rod still in their prime for sure.
Exactly. But a lot of people talk about them like they're
Especially with quarterbacks, we see like the way the game is. If Tom Brady could play till he's 40-something, I don't see why not. Like,
and they're both players that don't take huge hits as long as they have a good line. So they'll be there for a little bit, but they're definitely a part of that older guard, if you want to call it that. Like,
yeah, I think by the time A-Rod took over and Russ, I feel like it was around the same time. I think it was a couple years later Russ took over, I think, but
exactly.
around that same.
We're not hearing about talking about Colin Kaepernick the same way, but that is what.
Yeah, he definitely could still be playing for sure.
Yeah, he definitely could be. Oh, Cam, that's another person.
Yeah, I can't see him.
I don't think he's gonna be a starter again for a very long time.
Yeah, I can't see him on another team.
Yeah, no, I think he stays. Well, I could see him with the Washington football team. I was gonna call them the Redskins. I've invented myself from doing that.
I mean, that's kind of what they envisioned Dwayne Haskins being. So,
Yeah, well,
tell you,
who knows what happens with Dwayne Haskins?
and he on the Steelers, so
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Mike Tomlin could see him as the future, just like I mean, now I don't know.
But that's a question though: is if Mike gonna still be there?
Hmm.
They ain't let him go yet, but I can't really see them doing that. But I'm just saying that was a quite big question too.
Tomlin?
Yeah,
True. I mean, the future of like Jameis Winston is already on edge with the Saints now that they lost their.
yeah, I could definitely see him going to the Saints as well as a head coach.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah, he a very good, defensive minded coach. So we'll see what happens.
There's gonna be a lot. There's gonna be a lot of changes, but
Yeah, I feel like this season is kind of like we kind of seeing the change of the guard more this next season. Sure.
it's a heavy shit. I think across all sports we're kind of seeing that. We're not just seeing that with football.
Bro,
we're seeing that with basketball.
I'm mad. So I sat here, right? I listened to the Giants new GM give his speech, and I guess the talk is that they're still going to build around Daniel Jones.
Really?
That's the talk. They're kind of saying. The owner was pretty much speaking to the media. He said something around the lines like, we kind of did everything for him to fail, like in terms of getting him new head coaches, new offensive coordinators. I don't really see it like that, but
That's a perspective.
I guess they're going to give him another chance. I mean, I see it as this last season they gave him weapons, like not the greatest weapons, but weapons. And
I would say the line failed him more than anything.
Yeah, I mean that's what the talk is. I mean, we got a lot of picks this year. Yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do, but it'll be interesting to see because we don't really have much cap room.
I feel like a lot of teams are at the point now where they're just trying to get below that cap threshold.
Yeah, I mean, if we let's just hypothetically speak, like if we are to get Russ, which is what the reports are saying, like he's looking at New York and stuff, we definitely have to trade some assets away. I feel like in order to free up cap.
Seahawks are gonna want a full rebuild, so they're gonna want a lot.
They're probably gonna want Jabril. I'm just gonna be honest. I feel like that's the only attractive piece we have, like,
true,
on the Giants. If we're being honest. We're not giving up Saquon. That's not gonna happen.
I was gonna say, I forgot the wide receiver's name, but he kind of didn't help himself by throwing that stupid punch. I
know him by his Instagram handle, so it's not Looney.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, he was on the up and up until he threw that. That was the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Tooney. I think it's Tooney. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, he's definitely a threat. We'll probably see more of him next year for sure.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised, but hopefully he doesn't get himself into too much trouble or do too much because we've got talent, but talent don't help you much in a situation with you.
Temper is wild.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. It's just, I won't even say just temper as well, because bro, at a certain point, like in football, I never got mad. Yeah. I took the time to consciously think I'm gonna punch somebody in the helmet. Like that don't even. Like,
I think it's more like, if we being honest, I think just from playing, like I when I was even like in high school and shit though, it was safety, right? But like, I think it's that conscious thing between cornerbacks and like receivers. Like it just happens.
Ways, though.
Yeah, but I feel like sometimes when the talking gets reckless, like especially when you're from a certain area, like that's the first thing that probably comes to your head. Like, I mean, it's not the best way to handle it. I'm just saying it, but you're taking these kids from various areas of not great areas, low income areas, and expecting them to behave in a professional manner overnight. It's not going to happen.
That's very true. And I don't really know too much about him as far as like his history in college and stuff like that. So maybe he was like that before too. I gotta give him the benefit of the doubt, but definitely not one of the greatest moves I've seen.
Yeah, for sure.
In a very long time. And then even on top of that, like speaking of changing the guards and stuff, like it almost really feels like when we look at LeBron's numbers right now, like LeBron's is putting up crazy numbers. And I do think he fully is invested in playing until his son comes into the league. Like, I think that's his main goal more than anything else, is to be there when Bronny is ready to go to the league.
Yeah, I know where this guy's going.
I think it's almost, we're getting about close to that time where we might end up seeing LeBron retire at some point soon. Like, I got a question.
I don't think it's going to happen. I don't know if he'll stay on the Lakers.
I definitely don't think it'll be on the Lakers. I think it's going to be on whatever team his son gets drafted to, or whatever team he can maneuver himself.
No, I'm talking about I can see him leaving the Lakers soon.
Oh, I definitely can see that happening too. And I hope we'd be smart enough to not let him go without getting something in return.
Yeah, I thought there's talks about him trading from Ben. I don't know if that's feasible or if that's true, but I kind of saw that happen.
Enough, and obviously the Sixers, rightfully so, aren't interested in Westbrook, so it's not enough for us to make that trade happen without giving up I don't think we even have enough to give up to get.
But why? Like, it's just Ben. Like, obviously the Sixers want to win now. I think that's the plan with Embiid. So it's like you're gonna have to give up Ben, get an older LeBron probably. And I don't know what else, but
so the biggest thing, of course, is who they're managed by. LeBron and AD are also managed by the same person that Ben Simmons is managed by. So of course that's a good look for him personally. So LeBron is gonna want to bring him over just because it's LeBron. It's somebody that LeBron feels like he can kind of put under his wing. And
for sure,
push him over the top to break him, the championship team that they.
Shoot, I would trade him for AD. I ain't even gonna lie to you, bro.
I wouldn't, only for the solid fact that
Street clothes? You want us trading for street clothes?
that is his name. Although he did play last night, and of course that hiked up the price of the ticket, so I couldn't go to the game last night. But that's a whole nother conversation. But the man is like, as far as who we could have long term to actually like be the foundation for our franchise,
It's AD for sure.
I would rather have AD versus going Ben Simmons.
He got to get healthy though.
Mm-hmm. But I also do question, after all this time of the Westbrook experience not working the way that obviously people thought it would work, and LeBron had to admit that himself, like this is not working the way anyone sees it working. Why haven't we even considered the thought of going for a John Wall? Very similar player type to Russell, but he does hit jump shots. He does at least, command more attention offensively in scoring.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's the stigma of John Wall. I really think he's being blackballed in a sense.
For sure.
It's got to be something we don't know, obviously. I mean, we know his history. But
yeah, but like, I feel like it's almost a little bit more the same way people were doing Melo for a little while.
I said, forget that, bro. You got someone on the Knicks. I feel like y'all should go because he's not bad. Kemba. Why not Kemba? Why not? He's not bad. Every time he does get a chance to play, like
Cardiac Kemba is forever one of my favorite point guards to watch. I think it's an issue of style for us, where Kemba likes to have the ball in his hands, and LeBron don't like letting people have that. If that makes sense. Like the more I watch,
but I feel like everybody knows that when it comes to this, bro, they gotta change. If that makes sense, like.
Oh, but I mean, we haven't seen LeBron do that. It's ever. Like, other than D Wade taking command and being like, I want the ball in situations, it was never. No,
I'm not saying LeBron changed. I'm saying the players that come into the. Yeah. Like, what LeBron's style is. And, in order to win, like, you got to let LeBron kind of take that role.
That's true.
So it's like.
I think he would make that happen. I just don't see it work. Like, it's very few people that make it work with LeBron, if that makes sense. Like,
yeah.
You got to be very strong-minded, strong-willed, like, to be able to handle that situation. And I just don't think, at least I don't see it. If it happens and Kemba proves me wrong, I'd love to see that. But
yeah, I mean, I just think there's a lot of options out there in terms of point guards these days.
I still don't think it's 100% time to give up on Westbrook, though. I think it's
for sure
right now. Shot. Anything else? Yeah,
I know for the Bulls. This talks that we want Jeremy Grant, but I don't see that happening. I hope it doesn't happen. I just hope it doesn't happen. It's like a 1-year lease, not even a year lease.
Yeah, if that. I don't see it being a bad move, but I feel like
for what we have to give up, I really want to see. I feel like me as a Bulls fan and seeing what happened to the Lakers, I kind of want to keep a piece of that young core, and I really like Patrick Williams, and I feel like he has a lot of potential.
Yep.
And I kind of want to see him grow, especially under the veteran leadership we have right now. Like,
I wish he didn't get hurt. That's the one thing.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like this year he would definitely had a breakout year, if I'm being honest with you. And Kobe's doing well in Lonzo's absence. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's just tough. I feel like it's tough when you lose a huge chunk of the bench now to come up and start.
Oh, for sure. And everybody's got to contribute in different ways now than they were doing when everybody was rolling, getting things going, and kind of moving the year along.
Yeah, I feel like Zach kind of got to facilitate now, if that makes sense. Like,
yes, and also DeMar has to too.
Yeah, but I feel like that's what DeMar's been doing. If I'm being honest, maybe it's a little bit a bigger role now, but
because I felt like more so they were going to DeMar for like in the like low moments of the clock if they needed like that quick decision maker, quick bucket.
It was more fourth quarter for sure.
Yeah, and now I feel like he has to do that at all points of the game, and that might also change up the rotations and change up everything else. But
yeah, I think that the NBA is in a weird place right now. It seems like a lot of I'm like scrolling through the Instagram. It seems like a lot of 4 to 6 people going through surgery 6 to 8 weeks. It seems like it's like that time of the year.
COVID, man. Yeah, that's the other thing too. I feel like COVID has taken everybody away from their normal regiments and normal work routines. So now we're seeing a lot more of those injuries than compared to the years before, where they were consistently playing, kind of keeping that motion, keeping that fatigue down, or keeping the body well. So now we're just seeing like injuries coming in flux.
Right.
Or COVID coming in flux, because there was a moment in time where like everybody was taking COVID like a month ago.
Yeah. Like, no one's really talking about the Bucks as much, I feel like, as they should be as well.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they kind of just I was thinking about that like the other day. I'm like, bro, like we just gonna forget the defending champs. Like it's you're gonna watch them go to the Eastern Conference Finals.
They didn't change much as far as their roster goes. They added pieces. They didn't lose.
Yeah, much. They lost PJ. I mean,
yeah, but I feel like they made up for that with Wesley Matthews, getting Grayson Allen. They brought back Pat Connaughton.
I don't want to hear that man's name. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I mean, I ain't got no problems with him. Man, ain't really doing my problems with him right now. But
I ain't gonna lie, that foul was crazy, bro.
I kind of give him benefit of the doubt though. For one,
I'll give him one thing. Nah. It's the second. It was the second half for me, bro. As soon as you have to turn around, spin him in air to swat again, it's like, come on now, you lose all credibility. Like the first one, I get it.
Okay.
All right, you going for him. It was the kind of like spin around to make sure you knock him out of the air. That was like unnecessary. You know what I mean?
So I kind of gave him a little bit of the benefit of the doubt, only for the fact that it did seem like he was still trying to go for the ball a little bit. But once he slapped the other arm, I felt like he should have let go, and he did. He kind of kept going.
He grabbed with two instead of like just swatting with one and one. It was like boom and then grab.
Exactly. He kind of just went and grabbed instead of just slapping his arm. And
so that's what I'm saying, bro. But the one day, it was like a 1-game suspension. Yeah. That was like, come on now. Like, what is this? I felt like it was,
even if they would have been like, all right, we'll do a 3-game suspension, that's it, and didn't even do the whole without pay part, I'd have been like, all right, like that makes sense. But they did the 1 day without pay. I'm like,
you gotta also look at it though. It's not just this incident we're doing at this point. It's like he has a history.
Yep.
And it's kind of been unchecked to this point, and it's gonna cause some serious problems one day.
Oh, it definitely will.
Like he's gonna do this to the wrong person.
Hey.
And then what are we gonna do? We're gonna suspend the person for reacting the way they're gonna react. Come on now, like we gotta kind of like nip it in the butt now. Is what I'm saying.
This is messed up to say, and I hope no one gets hurt because of this. But I think that's good for the league, though. I think.
Yeah. But just imagine he did this to DeMar instead of Alex Caruso.
Well, yeah. Then this is my point. Like this is why I say I hope that nobody gets hurt from his actions, because he does do a little, like not even a little. He does do some wild stuff. Like my man's is a wild boy, of course, 100%.
Like he's not even like, I know people complain about Patrick, but this ain't even Patrick. Like this is extra. Like Patrick is extra, but this is
something different. And it's to the point where Grayson Allen is the type of person, like you see him doing stuff like that in LA Fitness, you walk out the gym, like you ain't about to.
Yeah, nah. So I guess that's my only pet peeve with Grayson Allen. I think he's a great player when he's not doing. Yeah. He's just got to cut the extra stuff out. Like
exactly.
Like this isn't.
That's his whole.
It's not gonna be good for your career in the long run. Is what I'm saying. Like
not at all.
And you don't want to create enemies around the league, like. Because I feel like it may be good for the league, but it's not going to be good for you. Like,
exactly.
We've seen when the league kind of like turn on a player, so to speak. Like,
it don't look good.
It's not good for you.
It don't look good.
People going to come at you on purpose. Like,
hopefully, like, I mean, he's in a good place in Milwaukee where I feel like people will bring him in and be like, look, like, yo.
Yeah. It's the same thing if he was in Utah, I feel like.
Exactly. Well,
when he was in Utah, I mean.
I kind of didn't feel like Utah was the greatest spot for them, unfortunately. Like, and this is no disrespect to anybody.
Oh, I'm just talking about the environment that embraces that kind of behavior. Like, I feel like Utah, Milwaukee, like, yeah, like their environment embraces that. You can't go to New York. You can't go to the Lakers. I feel like you can't go to those big market teams and pull this off. I don't think it's going to necessary. I don't think it'd work.
See, the only reason why I say that's debatable is because we did embrace Ron Artest.
But what I'm saying is nowadays, when it's televised and it's in people's faces, people are going to point it out and call it out more.
I mean, televisedly done.
Yeah.
James Harden.
This is a different era, though. You got to understand.
That's not that long ago. That's really not.
I feel like it is. I feel like the way TV and social media has set up stuff now. It's like, bro, I can't, like, when there's a highlight play, bro, I'm scrolling down my timeline. There's 8 different. So if there's a fight, it's going to be on 20 different Instagram swipes, Twitter swipes.
A little part of me do miss the brawl that happened.
Oh, for sure. But what I'm saying is, if we're going to allow it, like, let's allow this then.
That's true.
Like,
we ain't never gonna get to the days of like see like hockey and like hockey.
I guess that's my pet peeve with the whole scenario. This whole scenario is like, if you're gonna allow contact, but then don't allow something like this to happen, and then only give them a one game suspension. Like then more people just gonna do it. So we might as well just allow more contact at this point.
I think we're already getting to that point. Like we're seeing more and more games kind of come to a point of just they're really not calling anything.
Good, but I just want the kids out there to know there's a difference between defense and what that man did out there.
Like, please, by no means, don't be bridging people. Don't be pulling arms. Like, don't be attacking people in the air, especially if you're playing at LA Fitness. Because if I'm one of those people you're playing against, I will have to punch the hell out of you.
Yeah. So that's all I'm saying. At the end of the day,
I don't advocate for violence, but you will have to get rocked.
That man got a history though. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, that's for sure. And you don't want that being taught down. So you was definitely right about that. I might have to rethink my position. It's
just that's just how I feel. It's not even that it happened to my guy or like you feel me, Alex out now.
But it is Alex though. I think
it stings for sure. But I didn't think, if I'm being honest, with all the injuries we did have up until Alex, I didn't think we was gonna, you feel me, make it as far as this wouldn't be our year this year anyway. But I do think, you know what I mean? If it would have happened to anyone, I feel like it's just sucky. Because imagine if it would have happened to a big star, like
exactly. And
it's like, dang, bro.
The league would have definitely came down a lot harder too.
For sure. Like, just imagine if it was LeBron, bro. Exactly. Come on now, 4 to 6, feel me, 6 to 8 weeks or something. Oh, because your wrist got broke. Like that's.
If that's LeBron and AD, that comes down a little bit different.
Yeah.
A lot harsher.
So that's all I'm saying. Like, come on now.
I can respect it. And I definitely could think about it from that view because, I don't know, for me, it was like, it was one of those things, I guess, when I watched it initially.
Yeah, I didn't think it was too crazy the first time I watched it, but it's the second hand and you could see the eye contact. Like, he knew kind of what he was doing, if that makes sense.
Where that play was kind of going to take it.
And Grayson does a good job at that, like, playing like, I didn't know. You knew. So it's like, yeah.
But it does also not help that he fell the way he did, but it's
for sure. But I feel like when you have a super athletic dude, he's not super long and tall. You know what I mean? So it's like he's going up high to get it. You know what I mean? And slam it down.
Too, he's a person that does jump pretty high himself. So
he
knows, like being up in the air like that is a dangerous thing altogether.
Yeah, I feel like you bump anybody. We saw that with Steph. Like you bump anybody that's a little smaller, like they go flying a little bit. You know what I mean? So.
And
it's a tough one.
Steph, last night, bro, we got flashes of old Clay, and I got excited, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I see people on Twitter kind of like getting on him, and it's like, man, you gotta let that man.
Yeah, I mean, for what? The man is literally coming back from a year.
That's what I'm saying, but you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of younger kids out here though. I feel like that's watching the game. A lot of trolls, you feel me? But they just gotta let my man. Settle in.
You gotta let.
It's been a long time, bro. A season and what? 2 seasons or a season and a half, something like that.
It's been a season and a half, and honestly, I think there's only about maybe 4 or 5 players or not even. I want to say maybe 5 players on the team currently that he played with in the season that he was actually last playing. Like,
yeah, Steph had that whole. Even though he was injured, Steph had that whole season.
Exactly.
He had time with that team.
He had time to adjust with them. He's never.
Clay probably wasn't even allowed to really travel with them last year because of COVID.
No, he wasn't. Because of COVID, he hadn't been able to travel with them at all, mostly for the last couple of years. And like,
it was hard to build chemistry. Yeah, like that.
I
feel like that's what the Warriors thrive on. It's like they're not like the strongest, fastest. It's like that chemistry they kind of have on that court, and everybody notices that.
And it's part of their system too. Like to have that chemistry is what they need to just be able to move forward and honestly just blitz people the way they do.
Yeah.
Defensively, able to guard everybody at every position. They rotate so well, but it's more so offensively, like to know where everybody is in every pick and roll situation, every off the screen and off the ball situation. Like they know where everybody is at all points, even though they do get a lot of turnovers. And I think it was Grant Hill the other night that was talking about it. He was like, their team. It's crazy because when he was talking about this, I actually equated it to like soccer, the way they actually play. They literally do like a bunch of through balls through the whole game, just through backdoor cuts, through like off the ball screens. Like they'll throw a bunch of through balls like you would do in FIFA.
Right.
And 9 times out of 10, it might get stolen, but they'll take that chance every single time, and that's why their efficiency and their ramp rate is so high.
Yeah,
So
I don't know what they got going on out there, but
it's a game.
Like they draft well. You know what I mean? They play free agency well. They find like these pieces that kind of like we don't want you anymore, and they pick them up and they play them the right way. Like Otto Porter, like Porter was kind of like nobody really wants you anymore.
His career was literally on the downtrend before he got to Golden State, and on top of
Swaggy P. You know what I mean? We could just go on and on. Like
even the coach that they got right, like one of their coaches, Leandro Barbosa. When you really think about it, it's like Barbosa was a key part of that team when they won the chips. But when you really think about it, Leandro Barbosa was literally at the end of his career at that time. Like nobody would have had.
Yeah, I think everybody just knows their role and they play it very well. That's part of like their dynamic. Is like, you know what I mean?
It's crazy to see because like. I also think it's funny how they draft so well. Like literally, they drafted Andre Iguodala's replacement in Kuminga already.
Yeah.
They literally have him learning from the same man that he's going to end up eventually replacing when Andre decides to.
I mean, Andre not playing forever. No, this is like
he's definitely not. He knows he's going towards the end. I mean, I still shout out to the time I got to meet him when I went to the Knicks game and they were playing Philly. And the Knicks
there you go, there, bro.
That man is dope, and it's great to see people like acknowledge Iggy for what he does now. Because back in those Sixers days, people did not see this man being as good as he is now. So
yeah, he was just kind of like it's ironic. I feel like him. Not saying it's totally aligning, but I feel like him and Zach in the beginning of the career, they're kind of looked at the same. They're just like these high flyers, like go up and dunk, and that's it.
And that's it.
That's kind of what like Iggy and Zach was looked at.
A lot of high flyers get hit with that early on too. I will agree with that.
So it's interesting to see like where their careers went.
And it just shows like your game can expand if you really work on it. Because there's so many players that just don't.
Yeah, there was this video they were comparing Zach to Devin Booker. It was kind of weird.
Really?
Like, yeah.
How can you? I don't see how you can compare someone to someone that came into the league after you. that's kind of seems a little weird to me.
I don't know.
That's a little off to me, but okay. That's like I can't really. There's not really a good explanation for that. That's a little off to me.
It's basically just going down and saying like, hey, compare them. Scoring, he picked Levine. Finishing, he picked Levine. Mid-range, he picked Devin Booker.
Okay.
3-point Levine. Handles Levine. Pass a butt. Defense. Yeah, so that's my new thing while I be saying that. Love Levine.
All right, we're gonna make that your thing from now on. Every time.
Yeah, I think it was interesting.
That's for sure. Because it is a good comparison, I will say.
I mean, they're both shooting guards. That's about it.
I mean, that's pretty much it. They both have similar roles for their team. I will say that. And like,
yeah, but I think
the team goes when they go.
I was kind of telling John, it's like I feel like the difference is like, yeah, you throw CP on the Bulls. It's like what? You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like they both was like on the upward trend, but it's kind of like, of course, CP's gonna make everyone look 20 times better. Yeah. Not saying Book isn't great. Book is great, but I'm just saying like
it does make the team more.
Yeah,
he stabilizes every team that he's on.
So I think from like just someone who's looking like a casual fan or something, they're gonna look at it and be like, of course Booker's better. But I don't know. It's kind of like A lot closer than probably people think. Of course, I probably still take Booker. I'm on the Bulls, but it's like I think
It's still a
Levine
lot.
pretty close. Yeah. It's close though. Levine's still scratching the surface of what he could be, which is scary.
He's at the point where he's almost there, but he's still a little bit of a ways to go.
Yeah, it's scary though. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh, bro, it's
Cause that man got that. I don't know what it is. The killer instinct. Like when it's crunch time, like he be, and that's what I love to see.
And I'm glad to see that that's literally going to be part of the main future, like, of the league right now. There's too many good young players right now, but
oh, bro, Anthony Edwards. I was watching that game last night against Portland.
Anthony Edwards, bro, he gave me a heart attack the other day when he got off the court with that bone bruise, bro. Not gonna lie.
Yeah,
he was done. Then he come out and drop 40. I'm like, bro,
this man different. I ain't gonna lie. I thought he won Rookie of the Year. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I did as well. It's a popularity contest, though.
For sure. But I feel like I'm glad that happened. I was telling y'all this in the chat because I feel like it's kind of just put a battery in his back. Like, not that he need one. Not that he need one already, but he's like, he basically said it. He's like, oh, LaMelo got it? I bet. Like, you feel me? It was like, I bet, bro. Like, I'm going to prove to y'all why I was number one and why I should be number one. So
I'm just hoping it ends up being the start of getting Minnesota Timberwolves games back on TV again.
Yeah, but I think, bro, it's weird for me. I feel like he ended up in a great spot, but at the same time, it's like, man,
it's Minnesota.
It's like,
Minnesota.
I wish he was on I wish he was on another team for sure.
Yeah. So hopefully one day, but
it's all about Minnesota to me. I just don't like it, bro. I don't know what it is.
It ain't cold, bro. It's too cold.
I think it's Cat. I ain't gonna lie to you. I think it's Cat for me.
See, I think it's their front office. For me,
yeah. I like Cat. It's like it's just I don't know what it is, bro. You feel me? I feel like to me, it's like Cat has the potential to be like, you feel me, one of those premier centers.
Bro, he has Joel Embiid type potential.
Yeah, but it's just he like shies away from it, in my opinion, sometimes, and
it's very inconsistent for him.
And I feel like that's all. Even when Jimmy was there, I feel like that's all Jimmy wanted was like, bro, like, what are you doing, bro? You feel me?
Yeah,
like,
yeah. And I could also say the same thing about AD sometimes. Well, not sometimes when he plays. When he's not in street clothes.
Street clothes, Davis. That's crazy. But yeah, I don't know. I wonder if they're gonna move D'Lo. I guess that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be end up being a move.
I'm just sad for him because I love D'Lo, and it's like
D'Lo doesn't really get the respect.
He just kind of gets like not a bad rep. I don't even want to say that because I feel like everybody that knows basketball, they know what a great player he is. It's kind of just like wrong fits or so to speak. Yeah. Like I was sad. I ain't gonna lie to you when Kyrie said he wanted to come to the Nets because I already knew what that meant. But it's like,
true.
I was interested to see what he did with the Nets. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
After that,
I was hoping they would keep the young pieces they had, and I was kind of more disappointed to see them kind of go the route of getting rid of Spencer Dinwiddie, getting rid of Karis LeVert. Like,
I ain't gonna lie to you. Go ahead and send D'Lo to the Pacers.
I mean, I don't know if I want to do that.
Why not? Put him with Karis.
But You're right. But I don't know the Pacers though.
I mean, it sounds crazy to say, but I'm just saying, like, you know what I mean? I don't know where else to send my man. You feel me?
If I send him anywhere, I'd say try and get him to try and get D'Lo to why am I not thinking Mavs to the Mavs. Okay. Try and get Luka someone else that can handle the ball because Luka right now, I mean, he's young, granted, so he can handle that. But you at some point, Dallas has to get Luka to understand that he can't just be the primary ball handler 24/7 on that team.
Yeah,
there has to be someone else that can help create for you and help make you work or help get you less of double team, less pressure. Because the dude is just doing too much for that team, and this is their main problem why they're losing games.
Right.
And I love Jay Kidd as a coach, but I'm sure he sees it too.
Yeah, I'm sure, but it's not much you could do. It's already too far. It's kind of like trade at this point, but
it's their management again. They bought in too much into the whole. We got Luka and KP. The rest don't matter, and that's not proven to be the truth right now because they need a lot of help. They need a lot of help. And
see what happens. Trade KP for Cat. Oh God,
that's a solid move.
I ain't gonna lie. Both. I feel like both win because I feel like at this point, I feel like the Timberwolves got to move on at some point. It's like shake things up a little bit.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, you're not going nowhere in the West.
Yeah, they're really.
Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Like this team constructed the way it was. Wiggins moved, and my man started. You feel me? Doing what he had to do. Obviously, that goes to show like, hey, the Warriors are doing their job. But also, it's like it go to show maybe it wasn't Wiggins. I feel like that got to be in the back of their head at Timberwolves at Minnesota now. Like, because I remember the time it was like, man, we gotta let go of Cat or we gotta let go of Wiggins.
Well, not even just that. They also had Zach.
Right. But that was. I mean, that was a trade for Jimmy. So.
Yeah, and it was what pushed it over, but
Jimmy not the problem. Jimmy wasn't the problem. I feel like they were crazy for even letting go of Jimmy.
Exactly. But that's again, that comes down to poor management. I think Minnesota just didn't.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, bro. If I was in the management office, I'd have sat all them down, been like, "Listen, bro, I ain't gonna lie to you, Cat. Wiggins, you a little soft. Y'all need Jimmy. I ain't gonna."
And Jimmy would have sat there like, "Thank you."
This is what, you feel me. That's what makes the team a team. Like what y'all lacking is what he got. So
exactly. Matter of fact, I would love to see D'Lo in Miami. That would be actually a really dope fit. But yeah, that would take a lot, and we'll have to see what happens. But you said something that actually drew this in my mind, and I completely just missed out on it. Man, what did you say? Oh man, that was just literally on my tongue. I'll remember it later. But what I wanted to get into next, just because the people haven't seen it, you showed me a little bit of it. Got to talk about those Jordan 4s, bro. How you feel?
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about them, bro. No. I like them. Like I think they're a solid shoe. You feel me? I give it like probably like a 6 out of 10. I ain't gonna hold you.
6 out of 10.
Yeah, I want to give it more. Like I think it's just a very neutral shoe. Like I could wear it with a lot, but I don't like the new buck. Like
that new buck, bro. And I swear, I pray that they do not do that new buck on every.
It's not on the yellow either.
Really?
Well, yeah, it kind of is. It feels a little different though. I feel like on the tour yellow.
I feel like the yellow ones have a little bit more quality suede to it though.
Yeah, I feel like it's different for sure. Okay. Yeah, this is different. This is different material. You can tell. Yeah, this one feel a little cheaper. I ain't gonna lie.
That's my point, bro.
But
it scares me whenever I see them put nubuck on any shoe because it automatically just looks dingy.
I mean, I got a few issues with it. You know, I can go down the list. Like the Nike ain't on the back for sure. I'm tired of seeing this Jumpman on the back, but we already got it on the front, my boy. We don't need it on the back. Go ahead, put the Nike swoosh on the back. The bottom, the most fire part of the shoe, if I'm being honest with you, like
that is a solid.
You know what I mean? But yeah, it's just a regular shoe to me. I feel like Nike and Jordan, they gotta start talking to the consumers. Like, man, you know what I mean? Like, what do we want?
I don't even think it's just that. Because if you see a shoe like the PSG 4s or like
so they all just exclusives that we can never get our hands on?
So it has to be like a collab for them to be like, all right, now we got to give them something good. And that's what's really sad is like, you guys can give us good quality shoe. Like even my Oreo 4s, like the quality on the Oreo 4s compared to the PSG 4s are completely like night and day difference of like the PSG 4 is a good quality shoe. Oreo 4s is like, I mean, it literally doesn't even feel like leather at times. It feels
probably like these 5s. Cause these 5s, bro, they got that new buck too. I ain't gonna lie to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but again, that's a part of the jersey tag.
They've been creasing out. You feel me? I hate these for that reason, but I'ma still wear them out though. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Exactly.
I wear my shoes. You can see the bottom.
Exactly. As you should.
I do not just leave them in there. I'ma wear them.
But that's the one thing. And then the other thing I wanted to tell people when I wanted to shout out was the sneaker convention this weekend, this Saturday. But sadly, it looks like we're about to get hit with a crazy snowstorm.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. This weekend look wild.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's not looking like a move that is going to be made because I'm not trying to get stuck in AC. I'm not going to lie to you.
That's one place you do not want to get stuck. I ain't gonna lie.
It is not fun, especially being surrounded by water. That's just not going to be a good move.
It's going to be colder for sure.
It's going to be freezing. So hopefully next sneaker event we could go to, shoot a couple videos. You got the good camera, so
Where Philly at? They don't got one on in Philly?
I think Philly does, but I don't think they've announced it yet.
Okay.
I think we're gonna have to wait because this was supposed to be the one in AC was supposed to be the first sneaker event of the year in Jersey anyway, or at least in this area.
Yeah, we got Philly, New York. I'm down to go wherever, bro. I'm down to go to a sneaker convention. I want to go to the biggest one though. You feel me?
Bro, I think some of the biggest ones is definitely
go to New York.
Just Nice Just Nice, and when they do it in New York.
Yeah, we gotta go to that.
You
know what I mean?
In LA.
I'm trying to get some guava ices.
See, I think the only thing I'm gonna chase after. Actually, matter of fact, I'm gonna be right back.
It's the Union collab for me. That's it. I love everything Union.
Wait, the Union 4s or the Union? Sorry, I said Union 4s.
I like both.
The dark blue Union 4s or the taupe?
I like the guavas.
Guavas is definitely the move.
But I like the guavas. Yeah.
Definitely forgot about this.
Guava ices.
Guava ices.
That's my favorite colorway, bro.
But your boy.
Look at that little bit.
Your boy finally decided. Yeah, it's just beautiful, bro. So I finally decided to trade in my couple kicks.
Oh nah. Hey yo, they clean,
bro.
My man said I already got too many Yeezy. You feel me? I gotta give me a Jordan.
I had to start getting some J's. I mean, I did have to give up. Did I give up? Nah, I did give up 2 pairs of J's, but they were 2 pairs that I just really did not wear that much.
Okay, they're clean, bro.
This is a beautiful shoe, bro.
Yes, sir.
And of course, with the yellow toes is coming out this year, I was like, I gotta go for these and get the yellow toes.
Yeah, I saw a list, bro. I ain't gonna lie. They said
You just reminded me.
Electro Oranges was below the Pollens, and the Pollens was one of the worst shoes of 2022, 2021.
Electro Orange is below the Pollens.
That's what I said. It was like top 5, and I think Electro Orange was like number 4.
That's wild.
And I think Pollens were like 3, and the variation of your shoes you just showed, I forget what they're called, but the purple and white ones.
Court purples?
Maybe court purples, but they're
the metallic purples. They're all white and purple.
All white and purple. They said that was the worst shoe of the year. I guess it's maybe mock-up versus reality, I guess. I don't know.
I was about to say, because that's okay. That sounds a little bit more accurate. The one thing I will say, I think we already got our worst shoe of the year coming up. Like, hands down, this is my number 1 worst shoe of the year already coming up.
Which one?
Hold up. I hope they got a picture of it, because when I saw this, bro, I literally laughed hysterically at my phone. Bro, look at these threes. Look at these threes, bro. I kid you not. Every time I look at this picture of these threes, bro, it just makes me laugh hysterically, and I can't help myself. Hold on 1 second.
I ain't gonna lie. Someone in Jersey City got them for $700.
What, the
guava ices?
Guavas?
I might pull up. I ain't gonna lie.
For $7? Would he
brand new? He said he got proof of purchase and everything. I'm gonna need that.
See, this is how bad this shoe is, bro. Sneaker News won't even let me look at it.
Dang, they took it down. Maybe it's not coming out no more.
It's right here. It's right here.
Oh, yo,
bro.
It's a grade school though.
They're gonna come out in bigger sizes. It's not just gonna be grade school. I'm sure.
Well, they shouldn't, because I don't want it.
They definitely should not, and especially if you call the shoe.
I think the shoe would have been cool, but why they make the cement orange? Like,
so it's supposed to be the kumquat. So I guess it's like a kumquat, or I don't even know, bro. I can't even try.
Nah, they wilding, bro. People in the hood can't even say the first word,
bro. And I mean, I'm not. I'm not gonna push it at all. That's a shoe that I just don't see myself ever wanting, ever wearing,
They tweak.
or anything. But I will say, oh, I was scrolling for the wrong thing. These,
I like them, bro. I feel like my only gripe is I like the 1s and 4s more. So it's like,
okay, agreed.
I mean, 1s and 3s. My apology, 1 and 3 more. Like
I think
in my list, it's like 3, 1,
Mhm.
and then 2. But it's
Okay.
like I try to get them. I ain't gonna lie. I got nothing against 2s. I especially like high top 2s. So
Exactly.
I got nothing against no 2s.
I just think it's gonna be a clean shoe. I
The
wish
material probably crazy on it because you know the 2
Yeah.
just. I think it's gonna be more
wish that they
expensive,
had
bro.
the suede on it instead of the cracked leather.
I think it's gonna be more expensive though.
Yeah, it definitely would have drove up the price, but I feel like
Just
the suede
see how much material. Like, have you ever held the 2? 2s is so heavy, bro. Like,
I mean,
so to change the materials, what I'm saying, like,
exactly.
come on now, that's gonna be 2+ for sure.
Matter of fact, speaking of expensive shoes, did you see how much the Virgil Air Force One and Louis Vuitton shoes went for today?
Gotta be thousands,
Bro, thousands, bro. Some people spent $20,000 on that shoe, bro.
They didn't even come out, did they? Like, I mean,
they
globally.
did the auction today.
Oh,
Louis
today,
Vuitton
okay.
Auction today online.
Why they do an auction? That's weird.
They did an auction because Louis Vuitton doesn't want people really in their stores like that.
Yeah, okay.
Clients, so they, it's Louis Vuitton. They do their way. So
Yeah,
it was what it was, but that was a shoe that I wonder. Matter of fact, I wonder if that stuff is still visible online. But those prices were ridiculous, man. I can't even
Yeah, I'm definitely down to talk about this next episode for sure. More about sneakers.
Yeah, we definitely can get into it. We could definitely get into it.
There's been a lot of I still ain't hit on confirmed. I mean, that's an announcement for sure. I'll tell you that.
Bro, I also did take it. I did take it out as well. So my theory was definitely null and void because I definitely took an L, and it was one that I did not expect to take an L on at all. But I think that's going to be what this year is consistent of, man. I think this year is going to be even harder to get sneakers
for sure.
Last year. Hopefully the prices do start going down on resale prices because, COVID is, refund checks ain't coming as prevalent and we are in income tax season right now. So once that season comes down, we'll start hopefully seeing prices go down. But neither here nor there. So hopefully we get to that point. But we do got to talk about the biggest thing that happened last weekend for sure. And that is the fight of all heavyweight fights. Literally the 2 biggest men I've ever seen in a fight ring before, because that was the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And that fight didn't go anywhere near the way I thought it was going to go. I'm not going to lie to you.
I didn't expect Francis to wrestle. I think anybody would lie if they said, but I did expect Francis to be more cautious. I feel like everyone expected him to kind of throw those punches like he usually does. But versus Cyril, Cyril's dangerous, man. He moves like a welterweight, like light heavyweight, but he's big. So,
and it was almost like a show of respect for him to kind of come out.
I mean, Francis, they know each other, so it's like he knows what Cyril possesses. So you got to go ahead and take away that. And I think it was a beautiful game plan. I don't think anybody expected it. So, hats off to the champ. But I think the more I guess trending issue about that was that Dana didn't put the belt around Francis.
Yeah, people weren't too happy about how Dana kind of handled that. And on top of that, I think he even actually went and did an interview or a YouTube video buying sneakers instead of
Dana. Yeah, so it's like, I don't know what's up with Dana, man. You gotta pay that man, bro. That's all I'm gonna say.
And I think there's gonna be some pushback on Dana for a little while for that. There's definitely going to be some.
That's just not cool. I feel like, you know what I mean. You put the belts on every other champ. Like, why would you
shy away from them?
Not do it when you're having a dispute with him. Like,
exactly.
You've had disputes with other people and done it. You did it with John, with all the disputes he's had. So with the UFC about money, and that's another thing Dana got to work out is getting John back in because. Yeah, we need to see him fight a heavyweight. I'm not saying you got to fight for the title, but I would like to see John versus Stipe, John versus anybody in the heavyweight division. So
That would be a good
John versus Cyril. Like, let's set it up. Why not?
That would be it. Talk about mega fights. Now we're actually kind of talking about mega fights, and
Let's
I
do
think
it.
it's more so pride for Dana. Like I feel like Dana does let his pride get in the way of a lot of things.
But I also feel like it's not all the way up to Dana.
That's true.
Like people have to understand this. Like Dana's what? Dana sold the company, so Dana owns like I think it's a small percentage or whatever now. And the people he sold it to really make the decision. So Dana can say what he says, but I think he's just reporting back with
what he's being.
Yeah, because now he sold the company. He don't have to work for the UFC anymore, but he just works for them. He's the mouthpiece for them. So
exactly. So he's gonna take the heat at the end of the day.
Yeah, I was surprised also that Moreno lost the fight. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think that was a close one. I also think the judges. I think Figueroa won, but I think it was close, and I think they called the other fights a draw. I really think they just kind of a small piece of them wanted Figueroa to win so they could do a 4 fight.
Exactly. There's definitely some posturing for that too, and
because the flyweight division wasn't as popular before, if I'm being honest. So, I mean,
yeah, I personally thought it was a draw. I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought neither person did enough to win the fight. Like they kind of just.
That's how the first one was with him.
Yeah, and they both played really cautious, and you kind of see it. Like both of them had moments of just flashiness, like they felt like they could. Because even I've never seen a UFC fighter knock somebody down 3 times and like actually cause damage and not rush. Like that was kind of unique to me. Like that was the first time
I think it's also though like they're so fast, bro. In a flyweight, like they're so light and fast. Like, you see a lot of like out of the box stuff, especially in those like lighter divisions. So, but Moreno gets up super quick. I mean, we saw that in the first round. He kind of, in my opinion, he lost the first. But it wasn't like a huge loss. Like he was doing what he had to do to survive the round.
In the Duncan,
yeah, but he definitely laid damage as well. So it's interesting. I mean, I'm interested to see the next fights, see what happens.
I think it's gonna come down to, and he said he wants to do the next fight in Mexico, which is actually that's gonna be pretty big to even take it that far.
I mean, for sure, Moreno's gonna get another chance. As big of a superstar as he was, like. And the way he fought those last couple fights, they're gonna have to give him a shot because they gave Figueroa a shot. So,
did you hear the crowd for him just coming out?
Yeah, Figueroa is like a Kobe at this point. Like he kind of made himself the villain. Like he's you can't talk trash to arguably the nicest guy in the UFC. Everyone's gonna think you're, you know what I mean? You're a jerk. So
already targeting it back.
Yeah.
So it was a great fight. I will say that was the only prelim I unfortunately got to catch. Because I ain't gonna say what I was using, but my
right.
not helping me in the situation.
Yeah.
So yeah, but that was definitely one of the fights I was really excited to watch, and honestly, it felt like if we would have got another round out of it, we would have probably seen who actually won the fight.
Yeah, there was just news today apparently that Kamaru says he's gonna skip the middleweight division possibly and go straight to light heavyweight, which.
Wow.
I don't see being any good. But apparently he says he doesn't want to fight Izzy, I guess, because they kind of got this brotherhood thing going on.
Okay.
Which I think I appreciate. I like the sentiment, but I think Izzy and him are 2 of the best in the world, and I would love to see them fight. Like, why not? Yeah, I would just love to see that fight. I don't know who wouldn't.
Yeah, I don't think there's many people that wouldn't want to see it. I understand why they don't want to fight, but
yeah, they're all like Nigerian brothers. Like that's how they roll. It's him, Kamaru, and Francis.
Rules, man.
Like you saw, what happened?
No, I said Nigerians play by different rules, man.
Oh yeah. We saw. I mean, Kamaru was there in Francis' corner, so he showed up to the fight. It was there, so it's interesting to see.
I don't know, man. It's exciting to see, and I'm excited for what's to come. I know we got another big fight coming up. Boxing wise, in 2 weeks, we will be getting wow, I can't remember this. Not Triple G fights or supposed to fight in March. And then we have, oh man, I can never say this guy's name right. Hold on. Because I know I'm going to forget this. Or not forget this, but I'm not going to say his name right. Why can't I say it? Oh, dear God. If somebody else shows me another Jake Paul contender fight, I'm going to literally going to have to hurt somebody. Mystery is going to go. Let's see. There we go.
Oh, Clarissa Shields is coming back.
Really?
It says February 5th she's fighting.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know that.
Emma Coe's in 10 rounds for Shields WBC. Oh, so she didn't abandon him. That's cool. Keith Thurman versus Mario Barrios, February 5th. Josh Taylor, Jack Catterall, I guess, Scotland, February 26th. And Jose Ramirez and Jose Pedraza, March 4th.
Oh, why can't I remember this kid's name? Man, this is going to bother me. This is going to bother me. No Golden Boy Entertainment fights in March. Oh, why can't I remember this guy's name? Oh, man, this is going to bother the hell out of me. But anyway, there's a bunch of good fights coming up that we're definitely going to have to catch into. My goal is to try and at least catch. So my goal for this year, and definitely for people to look out for, is to try and do like a live reaction, or live, like us watching a fight live and giving our take on what's going down, what the fight's looking like. Obviously, we can't show the fights. We're not trying to get kicked off of YouTube or Twitch now that we're actually on. So we'll definitely try and do that. The other thing I want to do is on Fridays or on days that we can get a good couple people in, try and stream us playing Super Smash Brothers with everybody we can get in.
We got to get John in there for sure.
Because that's going to be a good conversation. We got to get John in. We got to get everybody that has a Switch that we actually know can play. Because I think Ryan does have a Switch. We got a good couple people, so that'll be a good conversation, a good piece. And then if anybody wants to join in, get your clap too and just smash it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we'll go into that, and then we'll talk more next week. There's a lot of good games coming up this weekend, basketball wise. Hopefully nothing gets canceled with the weather. And hopefully everybody's staying safe and staying warm, because it's cold as heck outside, especially in the East Coast.
It's brick.
It's too brick. In the next video, we'll talk about one thing we definitely got to talk about is the bro. I don't know if you be watching them, but the whole Nike or sneakers live videos that they be doing, bro.
Sometimes I catch them,
bro. They be irking my nerves, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. I understand
all the heat they got,
but bro, it's not even just the heat. The day that be really whack just be having me like, why do we even have to watch this, and why did this a part of how you gotta cop sneakers? But that's a whole nother conversation. I got my whole beef with the whole general right now, so that's something we'll talk about next video. But definitely make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Yes. Your comment. So definitely make sure you subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to us on Twitch. Hit us up. The Discord link is on there, so definitely get up on Discord.
Sure, just let us know what you would like to hear on future episodes for sure.
Whatever you guys want to talk about, let us know. And definitely make sure to chime in. But until next time, guys, peace out. And also definitely make sure to keep an eye out, because there's definitely gonna be something special. A nice little intro video and a nice little theme song by your boys truly. Then so I can't wait to even. I'm not even gonna talk about it. I just gonna see it, bro. It's fire. Peace.